Hi everyone, welcome to Cathlates Pilates on a Sunday evening. I know it's a Memorial Day weekend in the US and it's a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. So I hope everyone's having a happy, healthy, relaxing, mindful weekend and reflecting on family and friends and loved ones. But for those of you who are joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Neil, my regular crew in the house, I think, Julie and Katie. So if you've never done Cathlates with me before, that's absolutely fine. But you can always go ahead and check out the YouTube channel by Googling Cathlates and catching up on the welcome and intro session. If you've got any joint issues, you can always just do the standing exercises. There's no need to go any further. You're exercising at your own risk. So if you have any underlying health issues, make sure you've cleared exercise with your doctor and always listen to your body. So you might feel a bit of burning, some lactic acid buildup is always a nice thing, but never any popping, stabbing, anything like that. Bring it down a level or just stop altogether. So I'm going to try and I've started late, but I'm going to try and keep it to just a half an hour worth of Pilates tonight. Anyway, I've tweaked my neck, so I'm trying to be gentle and listen to my own body. I did it hoovering, always the way. It's never lifting weights or doing Pilates. It's always when you're doing something not mindfully. So I thought, should I go ahead and do it? And I think the answer is that Pilates is absolutely wonderful for protecting your joints and recovering from injury. Hi, Jenny. Great, that's fine. You can always watch it back on my YouTube channel or watch it back here on Facebook Live. So all you really need is yourself. If you've got a band, you probably know where to incorporate it, but I'm not going to use the band today. You might want to have a cushion or a towel nearby so you can put it under your knees or lower back if you need it. So let's go ahead and get started since I'm running a wee bit late. And come to the center of your mat. And we always begin the same way, which is by finding our Pilates posture. So there's three parts to Pilates: the posture, the pelvic floor, and the lateral breathing. Doesn't matter if you don't get the lateral breathing, just don't hold your breath. So start with your feet together, pull your toes into a V, then pull your feet out into parallel. So if you put guns on your hips like this, and you should shoot off your big toe. Sorry about the sun, it's a little bit uneven, isn't it? Rock your pelvis back and forward until you find a point where your tailbone heads directly down to the floor, and then roll your shoulders up, back, and sit them down so that your angel wings fold nicely in against your spine. Finally, bring your chin in, let the back of your neck grow nice and long, and this is your Pilates posture. So if you were to look sideways, you can see that my ear is over my shoulder, is over my hip, is over my ankle. And this is good spinal health. So we're really aiming to do this position every time we sit, stand, wake up in the morning. Find your Pilates posture. My grandmother used to call it finding her sea legs, which is finding your balance, your center of balance. So the second thing is the pelvic floor engagement. So let's go ahead and do a few pelvic floor kegels where we're closing the pelvic floor at the front like we're stopping a pee-pee, and then we're drawing it up and in. So breathe in through the nose. As you breathe out, close the pelvic floor. Level 1, stop a pee-pee. Level 2, pull it up and in. Your belly button comes to your spine. Level 3, your ribs knit together and everything's tight here. Like I'm going to punch you in the abdomen, but I'm not. And release. So you probably did two things there. You probably held your breath and you probably squeezed your butt. So let's try and do it again, but keep your butt nice and soft, nice and loose. No pinch a penny here. We want to engage from the front and lift up and in like you're walking into a pool of cold water or thinking about Hugh Jackman or Charlize Theron or whatever does it for you. So breathe in to prepare. Breathe out. Level 1, close the pelvic floor. Level 2, pull it up and in. The belly button glues against your spine. Level 3, ribs knit together. The shoulders are pulling down your back still, but your abdomen is tight as if I'm going to punch you in the stomach, which I'm not. release. So did you hold your breath that time? Did you squeeze your butt that time? The good news is that we only have to engage to level 1.5 really, somewhere in between level 1 and 2. We want that belly button to spine. We want everything nice and tight here, but not gripping on. The bad news is I want you to hold it that way for the rest of the class. Okay, so it's a gentle up and in engagement with your belly to your spine. Let's put our fingertips on hips, thumbs on ribs. To warm up, keep your knees nice and soft and try and watch yourself in the mirror. Watch my shoulders. You'll see they won't move as I lift one heel and I press it down. See how my shoulder's next to something brown? As I lift and I lower, it doesn't move. Why? Because this is stable. My shoulders are away from my ears. My pelvic floor is lifted, belly button to the spine. I just lift the heel and then I push it like I'm pushing through the ground a rusty lever. Inhale, lift. Push it through the ground. Inhale, lift. Don't let your magic square move. Push your heel through the ground. Inhale, lift. And push it through the ground. One more time. Inhale, lift. Use your belly button and your pelvic floor to send the heel through the floor. Last time, lift and lower. So that sums up Pilates, which is basically if somebody was walking by, they wouldn't think you were exercising at all. And that's why Joseph Pilates designed it for working out in confined spaces. And who's more confined than us right now? Let's try some toe slides. You can leave your hands here or drop them by your side, but we want to inhale, slide the toes straight in front of you. You can move left and right, but not up and down. Exhale, use the belly button to pull it right back where it was. Check your toes. Have they narrowed? Inhale, slide away, knees nice and soft. Exhale, use your belly button to pull it back. Good. Inhale, slide away. Exhale, squeeze it and hollow and inhale away. Squeeze it and hollow. Good. Hands down by your sides. We're going to try and float the knee now. It doesn't have to come high. It doesn't have to come up at all, but let's try it. Inhale, float the toe away. Exhale, float the knee up as your shoulder blade pulls down the back. Inhale, place it on the floor far away from you. Exhale, use that pelvic floor to pull it back into place like we did at the beginning. Inhale, float away. Exhale, lift. You're a tree. Your belly button's to your spine. Inhale, place it on the floor far away, and then move through treacle as it comes back. So this square is not moving. Well, it's moving left and right, but it holds the square shape. Inhale, slide away. Exhale, squeeze it and hollow. Shoulder blade pulls down the back. Inhale, place it far away from you. Exhale, don't let your stance narrow as you slide it through treacle. Inhale away. Is your belly button tight? Exhale, lift. Shoulder blade pulls down. Inhale, place it down, and now move through treacle. We're going to add something on we haven't done before. At the top, we're just going to extend our toe as we hold our knee up. If it's too hard, drop it down. Inhale, slide away. Exhale, squeeze it and hollow to float the knee. Extend it out if you can. Bring it back, then place it far away from you and return. I won't bother worrying about the breathing right now as long as you don't hold your breath. Inhale away. Exhale up. Inhale, extend. Exhale back. Inhale, place it down. Exhale, return. Like I said, just breathe. Inhale away. Exhale up. Inhale, extend. Don't let it drop. Exhale, place it down, and return. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it up as you extend if you can. Return. Place it on the floor and close. Good. Shake it out. So, doesn't look like much, but if you can hold the knee up with your lower and your transverse abdominals, you can use that to extend the toe and you're working your whole body. I think we're going to go ahead and just do some neck stretches first and then we'll roll down. So we're just going to inhale and drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Doesn't matter actually. You can do your left. Sorry, if you want to be on the same side as me, do your left. And then if you want, you can just place your fingertips on the top of your head. We don't pull. So we inhale and we think of our head floating up to the corner of the room and the opposite fingers float down to the floor. So it's up. You're not pulling on your head. You're just using to help it float up to the corner. Now we inhale and we exhale. Look at our armpit. And now your fingertips are at the back of your head. But again, you're thinking of up. So inhale. And as you exhale, the head floats up off the spine towards the corner of the ceiling, and the opposite fingers melt towards the floor. Last inhale. Just deepen it. We're creating space in the vertebrae. Neck is nice and long, and then release it. It floats up. So we're never yanking on the head or the spine. Inhale. Exhale, drop the ear to the other side. Oh, it feels good. And if you like, option to place the fingers on top just to help it flow up. Inhale. Exhale, the head floats to the corner of the room and the opposite fingers become very heavy as that shoulder melts down. And then we inhale. Exhale, turn the eye gaze to your armpit. Fingertips on the back of your head now. Think about the fingertips opening the skull up to the top of the corner of the room. Inhale. Exhale, drop that opposite shoulder as the fingers melt to the floor. Last time, inhale. Exhale, just create space. Relax into it as the fingers melt. You can actually hold a water bottle, release, or a can as you do that in the hand towards the floor. Now we're going to go ahead and roll down to our 4-point kneeling. So find your Pilates posture. Feet start together, pull them into a V, pull them into parallel, tuck your pelvis under, roll your shoulders up, back and down. We breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lift the pelvic floor, belly button to the spine as the chin drops to the chest, and then the shoulders roll up and away from your imaginary wall. You can walk the fingers down if you like, but each vertebrae starts to open as the belly button pulls to the ceiling and the head pulls to the floor. Start where you feel comfortable. Grab hold of opposite elbows and deepen the stretch. Now, you don't have to come as far as me, but the belly button is pulling to the ceiling, the head is pulling to the floor, and shake your head yes and no, and let all the tension out. Yes and no, and then breathe into the back of the ribs. And as you exhale, you can walk the fingers up the legs if you like, but the belly button stays glued to the spine as you tuck the pelvis under and restack one by one by one. And when you reach the top, your shoulders melt down the back and the back of your neck grows long. Nice, tall Pilates posture again. You can go slower than me, but never ever faster. Also, we don't arch at the top. Our ribs are buttoned together like a vest, and the back of our head grows long. So we don't look at the sky and go into extension. We come into a nice, strong spinal health posture. We're going to roll down and then get onto our 4-point kneeling if that's all right. Inhale. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Shoulders roll up and away from the imaginary wall, like somebody's pouring warm water over your back. Your crown of your head pulls to the floor. The belly button pulls to the ceiling, and that spine opens up. And when you get to the bottom, you can grab hold of opposite elbows to increase the stretch and shake your head yes and no. Yes and no. And when you're ready and in your own time, you bend your knees and you walk out till you reach 4-point kneeling. Great. So when you're in 4-point kneeling, your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders, which is a bit further in than in other types of exercise. And then we pull our shoulders away from our ears, and we might have this natural dip in our back. We want to fight against that by pulling our abs up, squeezing our shoulder blades together, tucking the chin in, and looking at the floor. So my back, you should be able to put a ruler on my back from my head to my tailbone, and it should be perfectly flat. Somebody can eat breakfast off it. Now we're going to move from flat tabletop to an angry cat. Inhale to prepare into your ribs. Belly button stays tight. As we exhale, tuck your pelvis under, lower back to the sky, then the mid back. Spread your scapula, push into the ground, and finally drop your head. And I'm an angry Halloween cat. Angry, angry, angry. Inhale. And as we exhale, somebody pulls my tailbone on a string and each vertebrae unfolds. Finally, they pull my hair or my top of my head in the opposite direction. Shoulders come down the back and I grow long, but I do not arch. Instead, think about somebody trying to stretch your spine. Squeeze your abdomen, squeeze your shoulders away from your ears, and try and send your head in one direction and your tailbone in the opposite. Okay? So now we're going to go to a moving cat. We'll do angry cat first, then we'll sit back towards a child's pose, bend our elbows straight down towards the mat, come in front of our hands if we can, glue our elbows into our sides as we raise it up and rock back. I'll walk you through it, okay? But you don't have, your nose doesn't have to touch the floor and your nose doesn't have to come in front of your hands. So listen to your body. If you've got bad wrists, you can roll your mat up or use a pool noodle. Inhale to prepare. If your knees hurt, you can have a towel under them. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Come to your angry cat. Start with the pelvis. Lower back to the sky. Mid back. Spread your scapula. Push into the ground and finally drop your head. Inhale. Sit back into a child's pose, but don't rest. Just hover. Exhale. Elbows bend towards the mat, but don't rest. Nose comes in front of the hands if you can. Push straight up and rock back. So the back stays flat the whole time. We never ever arch it. There's a ruler on your back, except when you're an angry cat. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, move to angry cat. You can remove the ruler because we're going to arch, 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 and drop the head. Angry, angry, angry. Inhale. Sit back towards the child's pose and stretch that spine out. Now the spine stays flat. As you exhale, elbows bend towards the mat. Nose skips in front. Look how flat my back is here. And then I push up with my elbows glued to my ribs and I rock back to my tabletop. All right, we're going to reverse the position now. So the elbows bend straight back as the forehead comes to the floor. It can come in between your hands or in front of your hands if you want more challenge. Inhale, elbows bend straight back and brush your ribs as we lower to the mat. Exhale, back towards your child's pose. Try not to sit. Inhale, round it up to angry cat. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, lower it down. Squeeze those elbows in, belly button tight. Exhale, as child's pose. Inhale, round it up to angry cat. Angry, 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 belly to the ceiling. And unfold to your tabletop. Last time. So try and bring your nose a little bit further in front this time. Inhale, lower down. Glue those elbows to the ribs. Brace those abs. Exhale, sit back to child's pose. Inhale, round that up. Belly button to the ceiling. And exhale, tabletop. So we're going to do one last one. And we're going to stop for some pulses at the bottom. We're going to glue the elbows into the ribs and pulse through the heels of the hands. Take a child's pose at any time. Before we do that, look between your knees. Are they still underneath your hips or have they spread out? Have you leaned forward or back? Do you need to roll up the mat to support your wrists or your knees? Inhale to prepare. Exhale, move to angry cat. Tuck the pelvis, lower back, mid back. Spread the scapula, drop the head. Angry, angry, angry. Inhale, sit back and stretch it out. Stretch, 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 but don't rest. Exhale, nose skims along the mat if you can, in front of your hands if you can, and you pause. Tiny pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a child's pose if you need it, or keep going with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, push straight up, squeeze, and rock back. Now, child's pose. Did you manage it? So it's quite an intense one. You really, really have to squeeze those elbows in and just tiny, tiny pulses to isolate the triceps, but you're working your abdominals, you're working your back. It's really an all-over exercise. Okay, so We always do C-shaped spine. And the reason that I do C-shaped spine every week is that it's the perfect antidote to a regular sit-up. We're going to train the abs to sit right up against the spine in a C shape. So important if you do other exercise like body pump or running, that you learn to train the abs to sit that way automatically. It protects your lower back. Protects your lower back while you're sitting, jumping, standing. It also looks much nicer in a swimsuit. So because of the sun, I'm going to face this way. So I hope that you can still see me. You can do it with your legs straight if you have a really strong lower back. I never do. You can also stick a pillow underneath your lower back if you're worried about going too far. If you've got the band, by all means, feel free to incorporate it. I actually come a little bit further out of the sun because it's warm. And you can also use weights, etc. But level 1, hold on to the back of your knees. Level 2, with the band or without, your hands are in front of you. Level 3, fingertips to your forehead. I'm going to start with my hands out, and I want you to pretend that I'm holding onto your hands, and I'm not going to let them go until you slouch down and create the C shape, and then roll back. If you lead from the shoulders like this, you'll create a poochy abdominals, and that is not the shape that we're looking for. So pick your poison. 1, 2, 3. But we sit nice and tall on our sit bones. We pull our pelvic floor up, belly button to spine. We inhale into the ribs to prepare. Exhale. Squeeze that vajayjay. Roll the pelvis under and slouch first. I'm holding your hands. Now you can roll back. Stop where you're stable on your sit bones. It doesn't have to be far. Breathe into your ribs. Exhale, pull your front arm back and twist to face me. Good. Inhale, return. Exhale, twist away. Good. Inhale, return. Do it again. Twist to me. Inhale, return. Twist away. Flatten the abs and twist from the ribs. Inhale, return. Exhale, bring the forehead over the knees and increase the C shape. Scoop your head through and roll the shoulders down the back to return to sit tall. So when you get to the bottom, you're twisting your ribs like you're twisting out a flannel. I'll just go ahead and face this way now that the sun is not so brutal, and hopefully you can see me a bit better. Feet hip distance apart. Sit nice and tall on your sit bones. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Button the vest. Belly button to abs. Pick your poison. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze dip and hollow and roll the pelvis under to slouch to a C shape. Now roll back, but only so far that your tailbone's flat and your hips are stable. Inhale into your ribs. Twist from the ribs towards me. Inhale, return. Twist away. Inhale, return. Do it again. Twist. Inhale. Twist away. Last time. Inhale to me. Twist all the air out. Return. Twist away. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the forehead over the knees. Increase the C shape. And roll the shoulders down the back to reset and sit tall. Lovely. Lie down on your back. So when you're lying on your back, you're in the neutral spine. So you might want to wiggle your pelvis around so you feel a place where your tailbone's on the floor, your ribs are on the floor, and if you tuck your fingertips underneath, they fit right under your lower back. And then you can go ahead and just practice some of those pelvic floor squeezes we did earlier, but don't let your back press into your fingers. So we breathe in to prepare. Exhale, pull your pelvic floor up, belly button to spine, ribs knit together, but don't press into your fingertips. Release. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Pelvic floor up, belly button to spine, knit the ribs together, don't press into your fingertips, and release, okay? So hold that position as you put your fingertips on your hips, thumbs on your ribs, and we're just gonna try some knee floats. Inhale to prepare. Squeeze dip and hollow, and as you exhale, one knee floats to 90 degrees. Put your hand on your knee. Does it sit down in the sit bone? check your shin. Is it parallel to the floor? Inhale here. Do not let your hips move at all as you slowly, slowly lower that lever right back down to the floor. Slower is always better. This golden square does not move. Inhale, squeeze dip and hollow first, then float the knee to 90 degrees. Put your fingers on your kneecap and see if it will sit right down into your hip bone. And then check your shin that is also 90 degrees. Parallel to the floor. Inhale, squeeze dip and hollow, and don't let those hips move at all as you lower, lower, lower. Slower than me is fine. Faster than me is not fine. I'm going at kind of a speed because faster than you might go because I'm obviously used to it. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze dip and hollow, and good. Make sure the knee is right over the hip. Now extend the toe to the ceiling. We're going to leave the hands on your golden square so you can make sure it doesn't move, and we're going to draw tiny circles on the ceiling. So it's not a big circle. We go like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Can you do it such that your far rib and hip don't move at all? It's really hard to get zero movement going on, but I want you to try. Brace those abs. Belly button to the floor. Inhale. Inhale for half the circle. Exhale, other half. And a couple more. And now we reverse. So you're sucking your belly button into the ground, but your neutral spine is still there. We're using the pelvic floor to stabilize those hips and change the direction of the circle. Inhale out, exhale across. Inhale out, exhale across. It's a tiny circle you're tracing on the ceiling, and it's so small, but your hips cannot move. As soon as your hips start to wobble, your circle is too big. Couple more. Feel it? If you don't feel it, private message me. Hold and hug the knee and release. So you probably feel it in your hip flexor, but what I really want you to feel it is in here. This is where we're trying to really engage. Feel how your pubic bone is in line with your hip bone. Sure, we might have abdominals in the middle, but it's almost like your pubic bone and your hip bones are in the same plane. We want to keep that. So inhale, fingertips on hips, thumbs on ribs. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, pull your vajayjay up, belly button to the spine, and float the knee to 90 degrees. Fingertips on your knee to make sure it really is over your hip. We want the thigh bone to sit down into the hip socket. Extend the toe to the ceiling. Draw tiny circles with your toe on the ceiling. So let's inhale across and exhale out first. Inhale across, exhale out. We draw the circle in and then in and then squeeze, dip, and hollow. Don't let those hips move. Belly button's headed to the floor. Tailbone's glued down. Don't let that pubic bone shift. And two more. Other way. So now, belly button still headed to the ground. Pubic bone stable. Inhale out. Exhale across. Inhale out. Use your abdominals. Your ribs are buttoned together. Tuck that chin in. Back of the neck long. All the muscles working together. How's your tailbone? Stable? Last one. And two. Hug the knee in. And stretch out nice and long from our fingers all the way to our toes. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Did that feel good? I hope so. Let's come on to our stomachs for some baby cobra work, and then we'll do some open books and a brief brief leg series, very, very brief, because we're going to keep it a really mini session today. So onto your bellies. We'll just do our baby cobras. You remember what these look like, I hope, because we've done them before. In a yoga cobra, you might be used to coming like way, way up here. I hope you can see me, actually. I moved away so you can see better, but I think it's worse. I'll just tilt. We're just going to move 2 or 3 inches off the ground, okay? So the legs are at the outside of the mat. The hands are in front of your shoulders, okay? I want you to pretend like somebody's going to drive a mini car underneath you. So what does that mean? It means your pubic bones and your hip bones head towards the floor and your belly button heads towards the ceiling. Forehead into the mat. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Squeeze up and hollow. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. The nose moves an inch along the mat, and then squeeze the shoulder blades to hover. Hands stay on the floor. Chin tucked in. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Pull on the ground to grow an inch taller as you lower, lower, lower down. Forehead on the mat. Belly button to ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders come away from the ears, nose comes an inch along the mat, and then squeeze the shoulder blades to hover, hands on the floor. Tuck the chin in. I'm 3 inches, 4 inches off the mat maybe now. Inhale. Exhale, pull on the floor and extend your spine as you lower down. Option on this next one to lift the hands up into a W shape, and then we'll take the W from side to side to side, but you don't have to. You can leave the hands down. Inhale to prepare. Squeeze that vajayjay. Squeeze the belly button. Inhale. Exhale. Nose comes along the mat. Shoulders pulled down and away from the ears. Come to your hover. Tuck your chin in. Option to pull the elbows back into a W shape. Inhale into your armpits. Exhale. Move the whole W to one side, but try and stay in one plane. Inhale. Return. Exhale. W to other side. Try not to lower down. Tuck that chin in. Inhale. Return. So the elbow comes towards the waist as you extend. Inhale, return. Exhale again. If you feel any lower back discomfort, don't come as high or put your hands on the floor. Just lower it down an inch. Inhale into your armpits. And move the W to one side. Inhale, return. Inhale into your armpits. Move the W, squeeze the belly. And inhale, return. Hold it here. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, tuck the chin in, send the pubic bone to the floor, and increase the hover by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Inhale, and do it again. Tuck the chin in, squeeze your W, and belly button to ceiling. Inhale, and slowly lower, lower, lower. Now that, again, is a Pilates move. It's tiny. Nobody watching us would think that that is effortful, and yet, hopefully, you need a child's pose. I hear you. Not long now. So, I told you I tweaked my neck. It feels so much better already. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens when we get the synovial fluid going around our joints. You can feel really, really terrible and not want to exercise. It's very rare, if ever, that you feel worse after Pilates. In my case, anyway. I don't think I've ever felt worse after Pilates. So, because it's all about alignment, the normal range of motion of your joints. It's getting your joints to do functional movements that you do every day anyway, but to do them safely and mindfully. Speaking of which, we'll do our open books, which is one of the best exercises we can do. A lot of people get a lot of shoulder problems, and they don't have enough mobilization and stability in their shoulder girdle. So this is a great one for that. We're lying on our side. Our knees are bent at a 45-degree angle, so our ankles are in line with our hips. Pull your top shoulder down away from your ear and feel like your waist is lifting in and off the ground. So your hips are staked one on top of each other. Your ribs are into the ground. Put a pillow, a sweatshirt, or something underneath your head because both your hands are in front of you, okay? So too much for your neck if there's nothing underneath there. Inhale, slide the top fingers away from you along the floor first. Exhale, squeeze the big hollow and start to trace a rainbow across the sky. Your eye gaze follows your fingertips, but your hips face forward. Stop where you feel like your hips might roll back. Inhale into your armpit. As you exhale, close the ribs first. Use the belly button to start to pull the rainbow forward and then reach towards me. Reach as further as you can and touch the floor and restack. So that is where you get the shoulder mobilization, but also the stability when it sits back where it's meant to go. Inhale, slide the fingertips away. Exhale, open the book. So the idea is not to go far, it's to be controlled. How smooth is your rainbow? Are your hips still facing towards me? Stop and inhale into your armpit. Exhale, squeeze the ribs, squeeze the belly button, squeeze the knees into each other to close the book. Reach, and land further than when you left the floor. Last one. Inhale, slide the fingertips to me. Exhale, open that book. Eye gaze follows the fingertips. Hips face me. Upper body opens. Are your abs still tight? Ribs still together? Inhale into your armpit. Close and button that waistcoat. Belly button to the back wall. Close the book and reach. Reach further than you reached before. Touching down and restacking. Lovely. So you can leave the pillow there. We're going to put our fingertips about an inch in front of our hips so we can try and feel this muscle here. Glue your feet together as you inhale and open your knees. This is called the clam. Close the knees. Exhale, glue the knees together and open the ankle. Inhale, close. Exhale, open the knees. Hips are completely stable, one on top of the other. They do not move. Exhale, open the ankle. They don't rock forward and they don't rock back. Can you feel that under your fingertips? Squeeze it in hollow and pull your belly button in. Close. And then press the top knee onto the bottom knee and rotate. Hips are stable. Open the knees. You can even put your thumb on your rib if you want to feel the magic square there. The whole square is stable. And the last one. So this one has a bit of internal rotation. If you've got bad knees, you don't have to keep the internal rotation. But if you can, extend the leg, but keep the knee facing towards the floor. And then exhale to close it. Inhale away as it goes to the corner of the ceiling. Exhale, close. Inhale away and exhale, close. Inhale away and exhale, close. Hold it away. Lower it to hip height. Flex the foot. Pull it straight behind you. The knees facing the front of the room now for tiny pulses behind you. Ankle to the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can, take your ankle an inch back and an inch up. Tuck the pelvis under, belly button to the spine. Take it an inch back and an inch up. You don't have to, but if you want to, join me for one last one. Tuck your pelvis under. Ankle goes back and up. Squeeze your upper buttock and try and trap the blood in there. Get a little shake on. Squeeze your abdomen. Everything's tight. Release. Rub. Anchor your butt. And we'll just do a couple inner thighs. And then we just have the other leg to do and we're done. So for the inner thigh, take the pillow out from under your head and put it under your knee. If you've got a foam block, you can use that, or you can actually just use your fist, whatever you like. But we're extending from a nice long line from our fingers all the way to our toes. I know that you can't quite see my toe. So we're basically going to have the top leg like a recovery position. like a recovery position with it bent and resting. The foot is on the floor, the knee is on your pillow or your block. We're going to squeeze our jeans, our belly button in as we point the toe up and we flex it and float it down. We point that toe and we exhale and we flex it in the air and we slowly lower down. We point it and we flex it, float it down. Couple more. Point it, flex it, lower down. Two more. Point it, flex it, lower down. Last one. Point it, flex it, hold it. Teeny tiny little pulses. If it doesn't hurt your lower hip. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can, keep going or stop when you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Squeeze that belly button. Shoulder away from the ear. Everything tight and lift it. Join me for two more. Squeeze it, hold it, lift it. Last one, you don't have to, but if you can, squeeze it, flex it, hold it, lift, release. So, again, tiny moves. It's none of this 1980s aerobics. Yes, I can do that, but I can do that all day. There's like literally nothing going on there because I'm using my quadricep, using my hip flexor. I'm using the great big muscles that love to work. That's not what we want to do. We want to switch them off. So that's why I love to combine this with body pump. I would really like to do Pilates for pumpers because body pump works the great big muscles. And so it's also easy to injure yourself. Same series, other side, and guess what? Then we're done. Just that simple. So knees at 45-degree angles so that your ankles are in line with your hips. Pull the top shoulder away from your ear, both hands in front of you. Inhale, slide the top fingers away. Exhale, eye gaze follows as you paint a rainbow across the sky. Hips face forward, open that book. Stop and refuel. Exhale, close the ribs first. Belly button to the back wall. Knees pull together as you reach towards me. Touch down and restack. Lovely. Do it again. Inhale, top fingers slide away. Exhale, eye gaze follows the fingertips as you open your book. Hips face knee, eye gaze away. Stop and refuel into your outer armpit. Exhale, close and button your waistcoat. Belly button to the back wall. Knees squeeze into each other and reach. Restack. Last one. Inhale. Slide the fingertips away. Exhale, eye gaze follows as you paint the rainbow across the sky. You can go slower than me, but never faster. You can pause this if you like. Stop and inhale into your outer armpit. And button your waistcoat. Ribs pull you back. Belly button pulls to the back. Knees pull together and reach further than you've ever reached before. And restack. Now for your clams, fingertips on hips. We just inhale to prepare. Pull that abdomen tight and squeeze the pelvic floor as you open. Inhale, close, and glue the knees together and lift the ankle to the sky. Release. Exhale, open the knees. Inhale, release. Abdomen tight, everything tight. Ankle to the sky, but don't rotate forward. Hips are stacked. If the hips are wiggling, you're going too far. Shoulder away from the ear. That feeling of your hips are planted and your ribs are planted, but your waist is lifted. Couple more. Last knees. Exhale, squeeze up and hollow and open the knees. Inhale, glue the knees, and exhale, open the ankle. Hold it here. Try and keep the internal rotation if it doesn't hurt, and extend to this corner of the room. And then touch the knees back together. Inhale, extend to the corner of the room. Someone pulls your toe on a string, and then you resist back. Inhale away. You don't have to have the internal rotation if it's not comfortable on your knee. Say you've had knee surgery, Claire. Keep it regular. You don't need to touch the knees at the bottom either. Just a regular lift and lower is fine. Last one. And now we take it to the corner. Lower it down, knee faces forward, flex the foot, take it just behind us, and tiny pulses of the ankle to the sky. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Make sure you tuck the pelvis under first, then take the ankle back by an inch and up by an inch. So we want the abs tight. The hips are tucked under. We take it back an inch and up an inch. You can put the hand in front of you if you like. Tuck that pelvis under, belly button tight. Take it back an inch and up an inch, and then squeeze the outer buttock. Try and sort of trap the blood in there, but don't lock your knee. And squeeze, 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 squeeze. Release. Rub. Just some inner thigh work, my friends. And that's an excellent job you've done. We might have gone just over the half-an-hour limit by the time we roll up to standing, but not too far off. So we've got the pillow under our knee now. Knee rests on the pillow. You can have whatever you like under your head. We never have the head up though, in line with the spine. And I want you to point that toe as we squeeze it and hollow and lift it up, then flex it and float it down. Point that toe and flex it and down. Point that toe, flex, float down. Point the toe, zip your jeans up, flex in the air, and float it down. 2 more. Point it and just squeeze, zip and hollow, flex, release. Last one. Point and flex it. You know what's coming. Teeny tiny pulses at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can, keep going. Push your knee to the ground and 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Flex it harder and raise it higher. Squeeze, zip, and hollow the abdomen and lift. Flex the foot, push the top knee into the ground and hold it, hold it, hold it. Release. Yay! And that, my friends, is your Pilates done. We're going to roll to standing. So to get to standing, I like to put the weight, tuck my toes under, and rock my weight back and forward, just to wake up my feet. If it hurts your knees, you don't need to do it, but we're going to roll to standing just like we did at the beginning. So I shake my head, yes and no. Let all the tension out, yes and no. And then I breathe into the back of my ribs, and I slowly walk my hands up, belly button to spine, tuck the pelvis under, and each vertebrae finds its place like I'm rolling up against a wall. 1 by 1 by 1. Shoulders start to melt down the back at the top, but you can go slower than me if you like. And the last thing is the chin tucks in and the back of the neck becomes long, and you take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, the shoulder blades melt down the back, and you grow an inch taller. Do it again. And as we exhale, the top of the head floats to the ceiling like it's on some balloons, and we grow taller, and we give ourselves a massive round of applause and some high tens. So like my space buns. Yes, COVID-19 hair getting out of control. Oh, Neil, couldn't I do something? I'm not sure what it was, but I think it was probably the baby Cobra. So I'll talk you through that, Neil. You can probably leave I know your lower back gets tight, so, or it could have been the inner thigh work. Anyway, if you've got any questions, comments, you can go ahead and instant message me, or you can go ahead and leave a comment on YouTube. I was having some issues with getting comments enabled. So tell me if you can't figure out how to leave a comment, or it won't let you. It won't let you on the kids videos. So if you're looking for Cathlates for kiddos, there's 3 there, and not the Pilates videos. There's 3 there, and you can go ahead and have a look at the Cathlates for kiddos, chair Lattes for people who have joint conditions,
But if any of the exercises are uncomfortable, or you want to adapt them, or you are having an issue with a particular illness, or recovering from some injury, let me know. Maybe I can help. Maybe I have some exercises, Pilates exercises that might help. So thanks for joining me. I know Neil's got to get to the pub, and Julie and Katie probably have Sunday dinner or something, or a dog walk. But thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all next week. But don't forget, Advanced Wednesdays, Zoom, Zen 2 Yoga. It's worth it. Trust me. We get super advanced there. Uh, Body sculpting 101, 10.